Again, a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News tonight on this 6th day of November 2022. Now, before we get into tonight's newscast, let's first take a look at the top stories of the night. In our top stories tonight, firearm delays Uganda's first satellite launch. Passenger aircraft plunges into Tanzania's side of Lake Victoria, 3 dead. VP Alupo urges private universities to embrace research during Bugema graduation. And medical interns threaten to lay down their tools over areas. Good evening once again and welcome to our first edition of UBC News tonight on this Sunday, the 6th of November 2022. I'm Loreen Masika Kazumoto and Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. Now we start off this newscast on a sad note. 3 people have died when a plane carrying dozens of passengers plunged into Lake Victoria in Tanzania as it approached the northwestern city of Bukoba. Rescuers have pulled 26 survivors to safety after the precision airplane crashed due to bad weather, with 43 people, including 39 passengers aboard flight PW494 from the financial capital Dar es Salaam. Precision Air, a publicly listed company which is Tanzania's largest private airline, said it dispatched rescuers to the scene. It said the aircraft was an ATR 42500 manufactured by Toulouse-based Franco-Italian firm ATR. Video footage broadcast on local media showed the plane largely submerged as rescuers, including fishermen, waded through water to bring people to safety. Emergency workers attempted to lift the aircraft out of the water using ropes assisted by cranes, as local residents also sought to help in the effort. President Samia Suluhu Hassan expressed her condolences to those affected by the accident. The African Union Commission Chair Mosu Faki also shared his condolences, as did the Secretary General of the Regional East African Community Bloc. Peter Mathuki. Precision Air, which is partly owned by Kenya Airways, was founded in 1993 and operates domestic and regional flights as well as private charters to popular tourist destinations such as Serengeti National Park and the Zanzibar. The accident comes 5 years after 11 people died when a plane belonging to safari company Coastal Aviation crashed in northern Tanzania. Now, the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has ordered for the arrest of Entebbe municipal engineer and town clerk of a shoddy work in Entebbe municipality. The engineer has been identified as Namfoka Kristen, and the town clerk Entebbe municipality, Charles Magumba, were handed over to police to record statements for misuse of government funds meant to work on roads. We have the details in this report.
While meeting district leaders at the Wakiso Accountability Forum Chambogo UNRA offices, Premier Robin Anabanja ordered for an extensive forensic investigation into funds spent by Wakiso district. This follows complaints by district and sub-county leaders on absenteeism and swindling of road funds in the district, leaving many roads in a sorry state.
Ogenda kubeera buli kaseera buli myezi 2 nga kansa etuula
Wakiso district is one of the largest districts in the country, sitting on over 1,907 square kilometers, bearing over 550 kilometers of roads. However, Many roads in the district remain undone and in a sorry state despite the huge budgetary allocation over other districts in the country of over 6 billion shillings for the financial year 2021-2022, and currently over 1 billion shillings is idle on account.
Abantu bano batubuza ebbanga okugeza kati nga engineer w'Entebbe oluguudo luteekako ssente lwakolebwa nga teruliiwo terwakolebwa. So tubale twagala atunnyonnyole nga ne minisita waali wano oluguudo luno lwagamba nti olwa taxi park luliriddawa.
Most of the roads in Wakiso districts are not worked on the way they were supposed to be worked on, because we see that the way they are supposed to be handled, there is this thing of mechanization, sport improvement, there is this thing of stone pinching. You see that our roads, whatever they try to do, they are not done in a standard form.
This background was informed to the Prime Minister Robin Nabanja's Accountability Forum after several complaints of shoddy work and absenteeism of members of Parliament who sit on the District Roads Committee. Enguudo ezimu mbi ate nga bali kumpi na Kampala, kale ne beebuuza oba tukozeewo ki. Kati gavumenti erina ssente zeeweereza mu districts under Uganda Road Fund. Uganda Road Fund, Nabanja ordered for an on-ground impromptu check-up with the Minister for Kampala, Mr. Kabanda, together with the municipal engineer and other councillors.
Chirinti, kubanga wakati awo fenna batubuza tetutegeera kituufu kye kitwali mu kanso yaffe eyasembayo ne Minister wa local government Rafael Magezi twamuyita nga tumubuuza nti nno lwaki ffe enguudo zaffe tezikolebwa. Minister Rafael Magezi n'ayitako Alfred Malinga n'amubuuza tetwasindika ssente ez'enguudo, kokkawo n'agamba ssente zajja ziri ku akaunti.
To her dismay, much of the work had not been done. As such, Nabanja ordered for the arrest of the Entebbe Municipality Engineer Christine Namfuka and Town Clerk Charles Magumba.
Abantu balina ebibiina development associations ku ground baziwa ssente okugeza ewaffe ekyengera balina ekibiina kye bawa ssente bagamba kirimaya bakiyita Women's of Great Wase Association bakiwa miliyoni 10 financial year ewedde n'ebibiina tebiriiyo ebibiina bya mpewo.
Oluguudo luno baalukola bakola batya kadibenga lye abo wanafa twayiramu ebitaka si bantu
In Entebbe municipality, residents say that there is no value for money in the works being implemented in the area.
The Vice President of Uganda, Major Jessica Alupo, has challenged private universities to prioritize research and innovation to ensure food security. Alupo was officiating at the 28th graduation of Bugema University and reiterated the need to leverage on technology for the harmonization of regional education curriculum.
Bugema University has graduated 1,176 from 7 university schools during its 28th graduation ceremony held at its main campus in Ruwero. Vice President Major Jessica Alupo officiated the celebrations. Alupo implored private universities to direct emphasis towards research in science, climate change and agriculture to ensure food security.
And we will continue making a call to all institutions of higher learning to prioritize and promote science programs. It's important to note that science is a center of gravity in the development process of any country, including Uganda.
The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha-Museveni, was represented by the State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Moriko Kadikyu, and committed special contribution to the private universities towards the research in technological advancements.
Begin to think outside the box and begin to explore ventures that can make our institutions self-sustainable. We must become strategic in our relation with the funding bodies across the world who can support our development agenda.
Kadikyu tasked university management to harmonize curriculum to the regional level to expand the scope of job market.
The region, this is very important because it is going to address the question of quality in the various institutions within our region. It's going to address accessibility of institutions within our region and eligibility of our students, relevant training and skills that can be addressed within the region, aiming for a job market.
The function started with the installation of the University Chancellor, Dr. Moses Maka Indimokika, by the Executive Director of National Council for Higher Education, Professor Mary Okwakol.
The power of a Chancellor or the Chancellor of Bugema University. Congratulations.
The university is seeking more financial support from the government to enhance the research in science-related disciplines and innovations.
His emphasis is laid on research, innovation, by also coming up with auxiliary projects for self-sustenance of the university and value addition to the community. I humbly request the government does provide support so that we can be able to complete our science complex. Also are looking forward to take us further into the training of scientists for Uganda and beyond. To also put a request to equip the hospital and that we may be able to realize the dream for this institution, but also for the country.
The 28th graduation ceremony of Bugema University was held under the theme, Take Up Challenges, Not Comfort. Abdul Nasili Lubwama, UBC News.
Intern medics working with government facilities across the country have announced a 3-day sit-down strike beginning this Sunday. They want the Ministry of Health and that of Finance to put in action the presidential directive on enhancing their allowances and salaries. This was at a news conference held yesterday in Kampala.
Intern pharmacists, oi!
Medical interns working in government health facilities have again renewed their demand for salary and allowance enhancement.
We had hoped that maybe when our seniors' salaries are enhanced, we shall also be considered. Their salaries were enhanced on 1st of July this year.
When the ministry decides to pay us, they pay us at their own wish.
We are giving government 3 working days to make sure that all our concerns are addressed, and within those 3 working days we are only going to maintain emergency services in all hospitals. Why? Because we don't want Ugandans to die.
This time round they are protesting against the move by government officials over failure to implement the 9th August 2021 presidential directive that okayed their take-home increase.
We've sought audience to have meaningful and workable solutions beyond what is existing. But trust me, the blockade is terrible. And yet we are the future of this generation.
We are asking you, Your Excellency,
to give us audience.
General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the fountain of honor. You are the one who directed that we get half of what our seniors get. In the same spirit, we still believe that you have the capacity to direct that our allowances are paid today.
For 7 months we have been quiet. We do not want to be a lot that makes that strikes and does this and that. However, we are tired and we are going to have to strike because clearly that is the language they understand.
Besides salary and allowance increments, the doctors are also decrying the low level of employment, which has left many switching from the health calling to street vending.
It is not consoling enough to tell us that we are going to be taken to US and to UK to work, because if we were studying to work in US and UK, then we should have gone to study in the US and the UK. Why should we study in Uganda if we cannot be employed here in Uganda? Why shouldn't we bring that modern nursing that is in those countries here to Uganda?
You chased away the COVID-19 health workers who are heroes of this country. You never deployed them. And now we are saying even those who are available are not deployed sincerely. We need to absorb all health workers. And these ones who are finishing in 5 months, they should all be sent to Health Center 3.
This, according to these leaders, is cutting across to even medical workers from the security forces.
We have men and women in uniform, UPDF, who are doctors, nurses, pharmacists, across-board health workers, police, prisons. Their salary was not enhanced. These men in uniform, they cannot come and cry out to the nation. They can't. By virtue of the gun they hold. When they lay down the gun and the criminal picks it, what can happen to our country? We are their voice. How can you increase salaries for other people and you refuse to increase salaries of those in uniform sincerely?
With a 72-hour ultimatum issued to government, medics are only left with no choice but other than seeking to engage the president.
As the FUMI and Uganda Medical Association, we request for audience with the Fountain of Honor. We request for audience. We do not want to have strikes repeatedly every now and then. We can have a lasting solution and stop every strike from happening if we can have a dialogue with the Fountain of Honor and meaningful engagements.
Starting this Sunday, the interns have only resolved to offer emergency services, leaving a gap and worry, especially at a time when the country is holding along the Ebola wave. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
And a very, very hungry intern is very dangerous to the patients and to the country and to the world at large.
Well said. UBC News Tonight does continue. It is not good news for elderly persons in West Nile whose details were not well captured during the National Identity Card registration exercise. These are likely to continue missing out on senior citizens grants unless National Information and Registration Authority corrects the anomalies. The chairperson, Uganda Parliamentary Forum for Social Protection, Flavia Kabahenda, wants NIRA to effectively decentralize its activities. We have the details.
You, the mothers. Seen addressing the people of Ribo Sub-County in the Namilyango district of West Nile region in northern Uganda is Flavia Kabahenda Ruabhoro. The woman member of parliament for Chegegwa district was here in her capacity as chairperson of the Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Social Protection. Leading a section of members of parliament, Kabahenda was concerned that vulnerable persons were missing out on national services due to missing links on national IDs.
How I wish that the honorable members of parliament, especially those that are sitting on the Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Social Protection, could ensure that in the budget process we are starting, we have money for NIRA to take these services lower.
How old exactly? The situation of Biofalamina is one of the examples that MP Kabahenda was talking about. Bio, who is 82 years old now, was registered 3 years less than her actual age.
According to the information on this ID, 79. But they cut off the 3 years. It's supposed to be 82.
51 years old, Asikwai David is the fourth born of his mother, Biofalamina. He faults National Information and Registration Authority, NIRA, for capturing wrong details of his mother's.
So it was very clear that he was born during the time when this white man brought the maize seed for the people of Omari. And that was 1939, 1940. That was the time when she was born. and he gave this information clearly, but the members who work, they captured the information wrongly.
Perusing through national identity cards of other elderlies here, it is discovered that the challenge cuts across. One of them is Rosalia Andresiru. She was recorded as a born of 8th July 1958, even when visibly she looks older.
We shall correct that error upon receipt of a recommendation from the SAGE officers, because they are the ones on the ground.
Some cannot sign, others cannot have their fingerprints captured, yet they require national services, including grants meant for senior citizens.
Before the national IDs were introduced, SAGE was here. How did we capture them? Those of 65 and above. We would use their birth, their confirmation letters, we would use their baptism letters, and those who did not have those would go to an LC1 council meeting and the council vets them.
In July 2021, the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development notified NIRA that over 11,000 elderly persons of above 80 years were never registered with NIRA. In turn, NIRA conducted outreaches targeting this category, and as at May 31st, 2022, registered 11,769, being 99% of elderly persons.
If an officer of government is satisfied that person X is actually above 40 by a physical look, they should go ahead and give them the support, because the requirement for a NIN is to ensure that one person gets the benefit other than getting it multiple times.
We need to ensure that every district has NIRA offices. Here Arua is running 4 districts. I think this is overwhelming given the staff they are, because the staff are only 4 people. And for 4 people to run 4 districts, I think is just too much.
In the next financial year, NIRA plans a mass enrollment exercise of 17.2 million people and 15.8 million national ID renewals. In addition to fingerprints and facial recognition, the authority intends to introduce new technologies, including iris recognition and DNA. Henry Okrut, UBC.
15 billion shillings is needed for the construction of Trinity Junior School, an initiative by the old girls of the school. Now, this has prompted the old girls of the school, together with well-wishers of the school, to hold a fundraising dinner to kickstart construction works. The Director, Public Prosecution Justice Jane Francis Abodo, and other dignitaries promised to lobby to ensure the school is constructed.
As Trinity College Namilyango prepares to mark its existence, the school's alumni have resolved to build an affiliate junior school which will serve as the feeder school for the college. The school has already acquired a piece of land located close to the college's sports ground through the goodwill of the school's board of governors. This has been boosted by a fundraising drive by the old girls and well-wishers to raise 100 million shillings.
Sounds a lot for this project, for our project here. It sounds a lot, 14 billion, but the task to get this money, although looking insurmountable at the moment, can be achieved if we all come together as old girls and well-wishers to give back to our dear college. I encourage youth to generously give to this noble cause. On my own behalf, my humble contribution is going to be 5 million shillings. Towards this project. I know that it is not something big. So I want also to pledge to support both the TC Noga Sacco and the Trinity College Teachers Sacco in accessing government support as they set up their operations. And also, lastly, I will also contact my own networks, colleagues and well-wishers to support and sponsor the project with both financial and any other available support in kind. Even if it means I have to threaten them with the criminal summons. I once again thank you for inviting me to this.
The alumni decided to spearhead the junior school project as a way of giving back to their alma mater, Trinity College Nabingo, which made them what they are. They requested fellow alumni, parents, corporate organizations and friends of the school to make financial contributions towards the project of the junior school. The head teacher Trinity College Nabingo, called Tida Nakate, said the construction of Trinity College Junior School is timely and is bound to change the livelihoods of many.
The touch you've given today, drive it home to the youngsters to raise their spirit so that they also admire the way you are looking and look forward to be like you, the professionals.
The fundraising dinner was characterized by networking and the alumni relating to their old days at the school, as well as taking memorable pictures. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The Vicar General of Lugazi Diocese, Richard Kayondo, has asked Christians to always emulate Jesus in their actions and learn to make sacrifices for others. While praying for the souls of the departed parents and students at Namilyango College, Vicar General expressed concerns over the declining morality among Christians. He was leading a service in remembrance of parents and students who succumbed to COVID-19 at Namilyango College, Seta.
So it is important and good that we can gather together to pray for the dead.
The month of November is traditionally dedicated to the faithful departed and souls still in purgatory. It's a season of intercessory prayers on behalf of all the departed souls and also reflection of our actions.
Our prayer is a sort of bailing them out. We say, good Lord, we know, yes, they don't deserve heaven immediately, but let our prayer be a purification and help them to enter.
The Vicar General Lugazi Diocese, Reverend Father Richard Kayondo, expressed concern over rising infidelity, defilement, rape, murder, among others. Kayondo challenged the Christians to always reflect on Jesus' life for better livelihoods.
We marry and get married because we are imperfect. We want to be fulfilled.
Father Richard Kayondo was leading a service in memory of the departed of Namilyango College, especially those who succumbed to COVID-19.
Praying for the dead is an act of charity. Let that be part of our life. We believe in life after death.
He called upon learners to appreciate the sacrifice of their relatives and learn to live exemplary lives. The head teacher, Namilyango College, Constantine Mpuga, says the school went through dark times during COVID-19 when they lost a number of students, parents, teachers, including the former head teacher.
I remember my brother, Juba Jeremiah. As we remember and pray for these people, we come to realize that as human beings, we only come to appreciate the connections and the significance of people in our lives when they are gone.
Dr. Chibuka and Father Sweeney used to encourage the boys never to cease to learn. I would like that we pick this from him or from those two persons.
This has not only affected the school, but also some students, both physical and spiritually. The school is in the process of starting an initiative to support students who are financially incapacitated.
We chose to pray for the people who are with us, who that have departed us from this world. These people supported us emotionally, financially, mentally and physically.
And through the wonderful journey, we were able to come back with gold, both the lawn tennis team and the rugby team. So today we'd like to thank God for that victorious win and wonderful journey.
Namilyango College, built in a Catholic foundation, is one of a few traditional schools that have still stood the test of time. The school is yet to fundraise for the construction of the structure in memory of all the departed allies. Susan Naong and Andrew Sebira reporting for UBC TV.
Ugandans will eagerly wait for the official launch of its first airspace satellite. This, according to the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Musenero. Now, the launch had been scheduled for this Sunday, but was called off by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, following failure of a launch pad due to a fire alarm in Virginia, America.
That is the business of also hunting down the bomb.
Early 2020. Uganda took a fundamental step towards creating an indigenous program, sending a team of 3 engineers, Edgar Mujuni, Derek Tebuswek and Bone Omara to Japan, with the purpose of obtaining skills in satellite design, building, testing, launch and operation, as part of the BIRDS 5 project, led by Kyushu Institute of Technology, Japan.
This is a big landmark. It's a big landmark for Uganda, for us to have come to this point, because some of these things have been like, they are not ours, we are not part of it. The launch is as real as it is symbolic.
On May 10, 2022, the satellite built by the engineers named Pearl Africa Sat-1 was handed over to the Japan Exploration Agency for final testing. The satellite successfully completed all tests and was handed over to National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, in Virginia, that had promised its launch Sunday afternoon. It was indeed a special day as many Ugandans sat with their eyes glued on their television sets for a glimpse of the official launch, only to be told to wait till Monday following a technical glitch.
Scrapped due to fire alarm in the Northrop Grumman Mission Control Building. The next attempt is tomorrow, Monday, at 5:27 Eastern and 10:27 UTC time. We will be converting that into Ugandan time. But our satellite is there, it is safe, and it is the launch pad in Virginia, which needs to be, because with these such sophisticated things, you don't take any risk.
The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Musenero, enlightened about the significance of Uganda acquiring her own satellite and the burden it will save the nation.
The importance of satellites is that they send information. Now, when you don't have your own satellite, you have to buy this information from those who own. And the information is expensive. So you only buy a little of what you need. Now, having our own satellite means we have our own room. We will be the primary recipients of all the information that comes from this satellite, and we will get it.
Minister Musenero asserted that this will help save money spent on getting information from other sources, and it will provide accuracy in weather forecasts to predict climate.
The importance is you will now have this full package of information concerning our space in Uganda. And then we can choose what we want to use, and we can choose to keep the rest, but we can also sell some of this information to others, just like they have been selling to us.
During Agaba, a technical expert, elaborates on how Uganda's satellite launch will be conducted.
It is going to be transported in the rocket that you saw to the International Space Station. Once it arrives there, preparations are made for it to be sent to the low Earth orbit. There is a robotic arm on the International Space Station that is going to release the satellite into the low Earth orbit. It is only until then that it will start orbiting and for us to start communicating with it. So these two are not happening at the same time because of preparations that need to be put in place.
The concept and scope of the program was initiated by the former Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Elioda Tumwesje, and has taken 3 years. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
The Famine Early Warning Systems Network estimates that about 518,000 people in Karamoja are facing critical food shortage resulting from 2 seasons of crop failure. There are allegations that some affected persons are now eating wild fruits and grass for survival. We have more details.
For the first time in 3 years, Karamoja districts that include Kabong, Moroto, Kotido, Napak, Nabilatuk, Amudat, Karenga, Abim and Nakapriprit have reached a food scarcity crisis level according to the Integrated Food Security Phase classification. Of the 518,000 people with high levels of food insecurity, 428,000 people are experiencing phase 3 and 90,000 are at phase 4, also referred as emergency levels of food insecurity. But a special NRM advisor on Karamoja affairs, a businessman, Aero Beach Entebbe, Cornelius Rolika Kodet, wants his model of turning Karamoja into a regional food hub for Uganda and Africa is adopted, all be well. Kodet says he has established a fully mechanized farm in Namalu, located in southern part of Karamoja, producing maize, sunflower, cotton, sorghum, and matoke, which have all yielded very well. Kodet cites over 70% of land under WUA that could be used for farming, leaving only depot land for tourist activities.
70% is idle, is under Uganda wildlife. Kidipo is enough. The rest, there was a program where I was going to work with our late brother Gaddafi. We had 2 million acres to feed Karamoja. I have a document with me. Maybe next time the president will consider releasing that land to us, and we feed the whole continent. 2 million acres. Sunflower can do very well. In a small way, I have tractors, planters, sprayers, weeders, up to harvesting. And not only harvesting, I can add value. I get cooking oil from the farm.
Kodet says the parish development model is the best alternative for Ugandans and thanked government for such a platform to uplift Ugandans' livelihoods.
This is a wonderful program. This is the best program for the country. But the way we do it should be that, for example, I come from South Karamoja. I have some tractors, I have a planters, I have a weeder, I have a sprayer, I have a harvester. If we are given that money to go and plow land for the local farmers, that would be wonderful.
Kodet now wants the authorities, including President Yoweri Museveni, to visit his farm and explore the facts that could be used to transform the people of Karamoja.
When Mama Janet visited my farm, I request him to come and see physically. We can change Karamoja. If he releases to me land, because last time there was a feasibility where it's about 2 million acres in Namalu to be for agriculture. We can feed the whole of Karamoja, not only Karamoja, even Uganda.
Kodet says Uganda has several natural advantages, especially the good environment, access to water sources like Lake Bisina and Lake Opeta, and the capacity of potable water for irrigation and home consumption.
This poverty, toka kwa barabara, we can throw away poverty. We have good rainfall. Now climate change in our favor, we have rain.
He finally urged government to consider supporting local investors to other than giving priority to foreigners and appeal all Ugandans, wherever they are, to work hard.
I'm telling my Karamojong, in Uganda, because of development, there's shortage of land. That's why they say etakaligenda, because of development. The policy was good, welcoming everybody. Even me, I have a piece of it. Now, but in Karamoja should be etakalikaba. The land is crying for development. People should go there and invest in Karamoja, out of the 9 districts of Karamoja.
Joseph Oko and Jimmy Alur, UBC.
Well, UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return after these messages, and also we do have guests from UNEB who will be talking about the commencement of PLE.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77# or use the Momo app to register.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
That's right. The Voice is coming to a city near you. From the 21st of October to the 10th of November, you get a chance to showcase your talent. Prepare a 1-minute MP4 video of yourself singing and upload it to thevoice.africa to register. Make sure you have a valid Airtel number, and if you're shortlisted, you will be contacted to come in for the live auditions.
Well, don't just stand there, let's go!
Music your passion, Africa your stage. The Voice Africa, connected by Airtel. Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude. It's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just set it for register. Yes. Become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a specialized quasi-judicial body established under Section 93 of the Electricity Act to handle all civil cause disputes relating, but not limited to, regulatory disputes, billing and licensing, tariffs, power generation, transmission and distribution issues, compensation resulting from activities in the electricity sector including civil wrongs and breaches of statutory and contractual duties and consumer-related complaints. The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a special court and the first instance court that deals with electricity matters in the country. For more information, please contact the Electricity Disputes Tribunal at Amber House, Kampala Road, opposite Post Office, or call us on 041-232987.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for 1 whole year. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here on UBC News tonight. Now, tonight we have with us in studio two lovely ladies from UNEB. If I can just introduce them to you, we do have the Senior Legal Officer UNEB, that is Annette Kemali, and then we have the Principal PRO UNEB, and that's Jennifer Kalule Musamba. Good evening, ladies, and welcome. Today it's a three-lady force here in studio. Thank you so much for coming through and talking about the commencement of tomorrow's PLE exams. If we can just get straight into it, I would like you to paint us a picture of the candidates, the number of candidates that are sitting for PLE this year. Looking back at the years back, we've had COVID-19 hindering, school-going children. But this year, it's been, children full board in school. So give us a picture of the number of candidates that are going to be sitting for PLE this year.
Thank you so much, and it's always a pleasure to be here. Very good evening to you, dear viewers of UBC. Today, we want to thank the Lord for the fact He has brought us. We are talking, we're just on the eve of the beginning of the primary leaving examinations, and we are talking of a candidature of 810 candidates. And looking for, this is a percentage increment of 11%, basically, close to 11% from what we last had in 2020. They are the candidates who sat in 2021. So I want to thank the Lord for the fire has brought us. Want to thank the Lord for the candidates and also for the teachers and the parents who have given us these candidates. And out of these candidates, one of the interesting things is that 52% of these are girls and 48 are boys.
That's good.
But better still, you find that 70.1% of these candidates are sponsored under the Universal Primary Education Government Program, which is very encouraging because it basically means that people have trust in the systems of government. So more and more people are bringing their students or their children to the Universal Primary Education schools, which is very encouraging, and want to applaud the teachers out there for the job well done. For us, that is a very good vote of confidence in the system.
Okay.
So we are grateful that we've come this far, and tomorrow we hope to start with a briefing of the candidates, and this is done at the schools by the head teachers.
Okay. Talking about the briefing of the candidates, which begins tomorrow, what do Ugandans, especially the candidates, what do they need to know? Could you give us just, a little bit of what the candidates are to expect in tomorrow's briefing?
Okay, thank you so much. Tomorrow in the briefing, we expect the head teachers to take the candidates through.
Yes.
The head teacher should be able to explain to the candidates what would bring about a malpractice, for instance, what would bring their results to be cancelled, or to be, what would make them to be, what would make them stop doing an examination, because being caught in malpractice in just one examination paper like this can lead to cancellation of the entire examination season, and you will not do the examinations, or the results are likely to be cancelled. So want the head teachers to take the candidates through all those. Remember, this is the very first time that these primary leaving examination candidates are interfacing are sitting for a national examination. Unlike the senior 4 candidates who are doing it for the second time, and the senior 6 candidates are doing it for the 3rd time. But for the P7 candidates, it is the very first time. It is a major gate in their lives. They've never been there before. Fortunately, they've been doing examinations before, so we are still safe, but want to assure them that this is very important for them, but at the same time, they can make it. Okay. And for us as a board, our theme this year is integrity and security in the management of examinations, the health and safety of learners being a joint responsibility. And here we are talking about the health and safety of learners, not just the health of looking at avoiding the scourge, like we have the scourge of Ebola virus. We want to thank the Lord that we've been able to conduct UC examinations for 3 weeks now, and we've not had any catastrophe or a major outbreak. So because we have had to follow the instructions given to us by the Minister of Health, and we believe that going forward we shall still be safe with the PLE. However, the other important thing is that we also consider the mental health of our learners. We consider the mental well-being, the spiritual well-being, the emotional well-being, and then the general health and the physical well-being of the candidates, as well as those who are conducting the examinations. And that is why we always encourage the religious leaders to pray for our candidates. Today we asked the Christians to pray. We said the SDA prayed, and the other day the Muslims prayed. Why? The spiritual well-being of the candidates is very important, but also for them to spiritually know that people are standing in the gap for us. They are supporting us. Tell them, yes, you can. Joint responsibility, we want everybody to be equally responsible and involved in this. Let the parents pray. Let the parents encourage the candidates. Assure them they are able to make it. They will do it. They will make it. That even if they did not make it, it's not the end of the world. So we want them to be emotionally stable, mentally stable, but also to be strong, and encourage them not to panic. So we want to be there by their side, strengthen them, motivate them, encourage them.
Thank you very much, Madam Jennifer. Now let's move to Madam Annette, who is the Senior Legal Officer of UNEB. Tell us about the malpractice. Now, we've had stories from the different candidates. We've had stories whereby parents are paying people to sit in for their candidates. Take us through those scenarios, and also let us know what you are doing as UNEB to make sure this doesn't happen to this year's P7 candidates.
Okay, thank you. Maybe just a broad overview of what examination malpractice is all about. If you take the definition, the strict definition under the Act, the highlights are wrongdoing, unfair advantage, and then there's a group of candidates or a candidate and adults. So it's those 3-4 people involved and those 3-4 activities involved. So, and why are we bringing it up at this time? We've been talking about it, you've been seeing us at court. Now, it's going to be worse. Why? The stakes are high, okay? There is ill preparation of candidates, of students, poor teaching, or there's a lot of things going on in the classroom, and then at the last minute, the head teachers are panicking, so they'll be willing to work with anyone who has been sent there to oversee the exam. So that is why we are getting bribes, why we are getting scouts getting involved, invigilators. This is the time when there is a lot of external assistance in the examination room. Whereas previously we've been having cases of impersonation. They are the majority of the cases that we're prosecuting in court. We have about 4 or 5. The other is circulation of answers on social media, and then the other one was, it's not to do with examination malpractice per se, it's the misappropriation of registration fees, which is also covered under the Act. But now, like you're asking, what is going on? We are telling the public, the law is here. I'll not stop saying that this law is going to bite. It has already started. Court convicted 2 people. Hearings of the other 2 are resuming tomorrow. And we are going to have the case of a parent who bribed, who hired a mercenary to sit for an S4 candidate. The case is starting tomorrow. The other ones were remanded yesterday at Kamuli, on Friday, Kamuli Court. That is why we are telling you the law is here to bite. Yet on Friday, we had a head teacher and the director of the school who also happens to be a teacher. A director of the school and then the director of studies. They also hired mercenaries to sit exams on behalf of students. So we are not compromising, we are not letting our guard down. Now, what I want the public to know is that with P7, it is an adult, purely an adult involved. That's why I want to tell everyone, whistleblowers, like we said, we have a whistleblowers policy, which allows protection of, to avoid victimization of a person who brings information to the board. Please come and report. The person here who is going to be affected by the acts of an adult is your child. Do not allow your child to be dragged into examination malpractice. As we speak right now, we already have information. There are WhatsApp groups which have formed. They are collecting money to bribe scouts and invigilators to assist your children in the examination room. What I want to tell you, this is an offense. These people are going to be prosecuted, but regardless of whether they are being prosecuted, your child is going to fall victim to cancellation of results. Because when examiners are marking, they are able to see a strange pattern in the candidates' work, and they can know that these candidates were assisted in class. So what is the consequence? Your child's results are cancelled. Please, the public out there, if you know that you're in the process of engaging in examination malpractice, I'm advising you, stop. Do not proceed with what you intend to do. Invigilators, scouts, go and do your role as supervisors of examinations, not to assist candidates. The most rampant offense in PLE is external assistance. Parents, public know this. Your children, you send them to school, they are innocent, they are studying. At the last minute, someone wants his school to be known. It's commercialization. It's not the interest of your child to get a good grade. It is for their own benefit. They are trying as much as possible to amass as many first grades, false first grades, which have been obtained by assisting candidates in class. Your child is going to fall victim to the selfish interests of the head teachers, the owners of the schools. Yes, we have the law. We are going to punish these people. We have started, and we are not going to stop. Public, we call upon you. If your child comes and tells you that something is going on in the class, please disclose to your neighbor. You will be protected. Children, if you realize your teacher is trying to assist you in the examination, refuse that assistance. We want to tell you, we've had cases where there were 31 candidates. 30 were caught in malpractice. One child was not. And the board picked interest in this particular child to see what happened. When they checked, his work was clean, he was not involved in malpractice, and his colleagues are ones who said, oyo mulokole. We know him locally would not accept any assistance from someone. So please adopt the same habit. If they are busy reading answers for you in class, do not take those answers. Answer according to what you have read and what you understand. And if you have a way of reporting to the board, report this and this happened in our classroom. The board has a mechanism of finding out who did wrong, and they will deal with them accordingly. I want to repeat, parents, public, it's adults who are spoiling your kids at P7 level. If they are mercenaries, as we know, they've already prepared some senior 3, senior 2 students to sit exams for P7, not because they want your child to pass, but because they want first grades. Let me tell you, it is an adult. There is no child from P7 who is going to go looking for bullets, what we call sassy. They don't have phones. They do not have people who are going to assist them. They are not going to engage themselves in malpractice. So we are saying we are going to deal with you. The act is here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Annette. Now, let's talk briefly about the Ebola contacts in Mubende and Kasanda. What has UNEB done to ensure that, yes, the PLE candidates sit for the examinations, final examinations, but also protecting you know, the different other schools within that region of Mubende and Kasanda?
Thank you so much. Mubende and Kasanda, first and foremost, like we said, as a board, we don't work in isolation. We work with partners. That is why we talk about joint responsibility. So initially, first of all, for UCE, we worked a lot with the Ministry of Health, with the security personnel and the district authorities. And we've managed to conduct UCE without any breakout. Now for PLE, we have been, and we're still in consultation with our mother ministry, the Ministry of Education, as well as the Ministry of Health and the security agencies. It was agreed that we would not have cross-border movements. So we are going to have scouts and invigilators who are within the districts. So we won't have people going into Mubende or anybody coming out of Mubende. So we are not going to have any cross-border movements. Thereafter, we are going to work with the Ministry of Health. What you're telling the candidates or the invigilators, in case there are a candidate manifests with signs of Ebola, isolate them, and if they are able to correct the examination, let them be able to write the examination within the gazetted area of the examination, because UNEB examinations are only done within the gazetted area. You can't go to hospital, for instance, and write your examination from there. So we encourage you to isolate the candidates, call the Ministry of Health, the helpline, and it's very helpful, Ministry of Health helpline, which is 0800 100 066. or you could call us at the center and we do the coordination for you. You can call our toll-free line, which is 0800 111 427. 0800 111 427 or 0800 211 077. The same number you call for them in case you have any information leading to about a malpractice tendency anywhere. Please call us on those numbers. We shall respond to you. And want to encourage all our people in Mubende and Kasanda and everywhere. Please follow the guidelines given to us by the Ministry of Health, and you will be safe. And for Mubende and Kasanda, by the way, just want to thank the UNICEF partners. They've been very helpful. They are providing transport for our candidates and also for the invigilators to make sure they are able to get to their centers in time. And we are grateful to the Ministry of Health, UNICEF, the health facilities, and as well as all the officials working with us in those areas. We believe it will be well.
All right, now in just less than a minute, give us the way forward to ensure that this year's P7 candidates sit for their PLE results smoothly, both on your side and maybe what you've also maybe told the different head teachers of the different primary schools. What has been the way forward to ensure that this year's candidates sit for the exams smoothly?
Thank you so much. As a way forward, we are talking about joint responsibility. We are encouraging everybody to do their role. The head teachers, please do your role. Tomorrow is the day for the briefing. Make sure you brief the candidates. If you tell them, give them the guidelines, the regulations, then definitely they are going to do the right thing. You've taught them, the Lord has brought us this far. He cannot dump us. So please don't indulge in any form of malpractice, because certainly you will be caught. And once you are caught, the law is not going to be the law will catch up with you. And then for the on the second side of the candidates, we want to assure you it's going to be well. The Lord is on your side. We are praying for you. We are supporting you, and want to assure you you have what it takes to pass these examinations. So go for it and stay safe. Be alert. Please follow the instructions by the Ministry of Health. Make sure health and safety is a priority.
Well, and something, last final words, remarks?
Yes. Like we've been saying, the law is here. We just need you to know that the penalties or the sentences under the Act are ranging between 20 million as a fine, imprisonment for 5 years, or both. Let me tell you, we are working well with DPP and the judiciary. You're going to be prosecuted if you're caught in any form of malpractice. Do not share WhatsApp messages that contain what is purported to be an exam, because you'd be caught under Section 26 of the INEB Act. Do not allow anyone to give you information for you to circulate with people. Do not allow yourself to be caught in the maze of examination malpractice. Tell your children not to be involved. Yes, we know they are triable in the juvenile courts, but adults, we are warning you. 20 million fine, 5 years imprisonment, or both. Thank you very much.
That is Madam Annette Kimali, the Senior Legal Officer, UNEB, and Madam Jennifer Kalule Musamba, the Principal PRO of UNEB. Thank you so much, ladies, for giving us insight on tomorrow's commencement of the PLE exams. Well, UBC News Tonight comes to an end. Do join me at 10 o'clock for more stories. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. See you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the